What's up YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. Now normally I would do a Yu-Gi-Oh news video, but as you guys can tell, it is predictions time for Clash at the Castle this time around. Now the card has been updated. We don't know if there's going to be any other matches on the card. Just because of the fact that they could have hyped Clash of the Castle a little bit better, by revealing the matches like immediately when SummerSlam went off. But it is what it is. As of now, there are six matches on the card. We don't know. Again, we don't know if there's going to be any more. We will find out this Friday on Smackdown. But this ain't going to be the only one that I'm going to do this week, because tomorrow's video, potentially, I am going to be doing Worlds Collide, which will be the last time we will ever see NXT UK come to pass. I think we're going to have some more tapings for NXT UK for the next month or so. From what I've been hearing, but we will see. But if you guys do enjoy this video and you guys want to see more premium live event prediction videos in the future, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. Let's get straight into it. We're kicking things off with a very impactful tag team match based on respect and control over Monday Night Raw, as the legendary team of Edge and Rey Mysterio, excuse me, will take on Damian Priest and Finn Balor of the Judgment Day. Now, one thing that caught my eye, I am so tired right now. One thing that caught my eye is the fact that Rhea Ripley just slowly took the kendo stick off of the hands of Dominic Mysterio. Now, of course, too, Dom being a gentleman, he could not hit a woman, And that's and for us as men, that's something we should not do, ever. No matter what the circumstance is. Dom chose not to do so, and Rhea Ripley took the kendo stick. And this rivalry actually started, earlier this year with Edge and AJ Styles, funny enough, but it also kind of also escalated a little bit further when Finn Balor took the United States title off of Damian Priest, which is what started his heel turn, and decided and started for him to join Edge to form Judgment Day alongside now Rhea Ripley and, well, now Finn Balor. And now Edge is once again a babyface, which honestly his run as a babyface was just so much better than his run as a heel. And the reason why I say that is because he's had so many good heel runs over the years in WWE, including his most notable, which was obviously in 2006, 2005, 2006, when he won Money in the Bank and cashed in to become WWE Champion, which was a hell of a year for Edge, mind you. But people forget that this is the first time in 20 years that both Edge and Mysterio are going to be teaming up together, because when they team up together, bullshit happens. Nothing but bullshit. By the way, shout outs to Brisk for the lemonade. Not sponsored. Brisk is awesome. Best lemonade ever. Hashtag change my mind. Anyway, this is a rather interesting matchup because people forget that Finn Balor is sort of like a legend in his own right, with the fact that he's the first ever Universal Champion. He's a 2-time NXT Champion, and he's a former 2-time Intercontinental Champion, and now a former United States Champion. So he's done pretty well in WWE, you know, including NXT. So technically speaking, he is technically a legend. He's been in the business for a while, but of course, too, in WWE, still technically new. So the question becomes, who's got the edge? No pun intended. Going into this match, Edge and Mysterio, because of the experience factor. They've got experience teaming up together. They've been teammates. They've been rivals. They've been tag team champions together. So Edge knows that he can trust Rey Mysterio, but Dom, on the other hand, with what happened a few weeks ago, not so sure. Not as much. But I'm sort of under the impression that maybe Dom might just end up joining Judgment Day at the end of all this, which is a possibility, but only time will tell. But for now, I gotta go with Edge and Mysterio, just based on the experience that they have, not just being, teaming up together, being tag team champions, but also the fact that when they're in the ring together, whether they're teammates or rivals, it's just something about those two together that just makes the fans just be like, oh my god, these two know how to make the magic. So Edge and Mysterio, hands down. Ooh, excuse me. Next up, we got a heavy hitter. A heavy hitter for you guys, because we have the Intercontinental title defended, as the Ring General GUNTHER will defend the title against the Celtic Warrior Sheamus. This is gonna be a fucking fight. This is gonna be a fucking fight. This is interesting too, because you look at GUNTHER, right? You see him as this really tall dude who, became the longest reigning NXT UK champion of all time. But you also look at Sheamus, who had done more for WWE than any other person could ever do, including win two WWE titles, I think, maybe 1 or 2 world titles, a Money in the Bank, 5 tag team titles, and three United States titles. But he has never held the Intercontinental title, and he's won so many titles in WWE. If he were to win, he would call himself he's calling himself the self-proclaimed Ultimate Grand Slam Champion, which, I mean, I guess it makes sense. But I guess though people forget that he's won Money in the Bank, King of the Ring, Royal Rumble. So just those three added with some, all the other accolades he's held, yeah, that would make him an Ultimate Grand Slam champion. But the question is he going to be able to pull it off? Can he pull it off and win the title off of GUNTHER? Honestly, at this point, it's hard to say, because GUNTHER is now at the point in his career where he's got a bright future ahead in WWE. So I think, yes, honestly, yes, he does have the advantage going into this matchup. Not because of the experience he has in WWE, but it's because of 2 things. Ridge Holland, Butch. Or I guess Pete Dunne, to be technically accurate. But yes, Butch, Ridge Holland, Plain and simple. Plain and simple. And people forget that Butch had a hell of a rivalry with Gunther over the NXT UK title and also over control over NXT UK back when Imperium was first formed, with Gunther, with Kaiser, and also with Giovanni Vinci over on NXT UK. So again, the question becomes who has the advantage here? Hands down, it has to be Sheamus. He's got the charisma, he's got the experience, and he has the extra manpower that he needs to potentially become the Ultimate Grand Slam champion. So I gotta go with Sheamus on this one. Next up, we have a rivalry that is based on pure bullshit. Pure bullshit, as the original bro, Matt Riddle, yes, they have decided to bring the name Matt back into his name, which is awesome, taking on Seth Freakin Rollins. This is going to be a very interesting clash of styles because you have Riddle, who is a high flyer and a submission specialist, and then of course you got Rollins, who is a high flying technical wrestler, which just those accolades right there could spell an instant classic wrestling match right then and there. But who's got the advantage going into this match? Has to be Rollins. Again, it's the experience factor, but you can never question. You can never discount Riddle, because with Riddle, he always finds a way to pick up a victory, no matter how it happens. Because people forget, he's a former NXT Tag Team Champion, he's a former two-time Raw Tag Team Champion, and he's also a former United States Champion. So he's got a few titles under his resume. Okay. Alright. Sorry guys, I took a really massive gulp of lemonade and I thought I was gonna choke. Anyway, that's what she said. Anyway, again, you can never discount Riddle, because he always tries to find a way to win. Rollins does the exact same thing. So it comes down to who can pull the trigger first. Who can strike first? Is it Riddle using Randy Orton's RKO, or is it going to be Rollins with the stomp? It all comes down to that, and I think it has to be Rollins. This is a match that Rollins needs to win, because if he loses again, aside from the Royal Rumble with his match with Roman Reigns, which was by disqualification, all of his other premium live event matches, he's lost. Day one. Let's look back, shall we? Let's look back. Let's see here. WWE Day 1. WWE Day 1. Seth Rollins lost a Fatal 5-Way. Royal Rumble. He won, but by disqualification. Yeah. Elimination Chamber. He lost. Yeah, Seth Rollins lost. WrestleMania against Cody Rhodes, lost. Backlash against Cody Rhodes, lost. Hell in a Cell with Cody Rhodes, lost. Money in the Bank, lost. He has lost every single premium live event match that he's been a part of this year, with the exception of the Rumble. This is one that he needs to win. If he loses again, there's no telling what that'll do to his confidence. So I gotta go with Rollins on this one. Ooh, excuse me. Next up, we have a 6-woman tag team matchup between between the Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair and her tag team partners Alexa Bliss and Asuka, taking on the return of Bayley, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Yes, Io Shirai is now known as Io Sky. Why? I've got no fucking clue. No fucking clue whatsoever. But it is what it is, right? You know, right? It is what it is. So this is a rather interesting matchup because you look at Bianca Belair, you look at Bliss, you look at Asuka, who all have been champion, you know, not just on Raw, not just on SmackDown, but on NXT as well. You have Asuka, who became one of the longest reigning NXT Women's Champions of all time. Not only that, but she's also two-time? Yeah. She's a two-time Raw Women's Champion. She's a former SmackDown Women's Champion, a three-time Women's Tag Team Champion, and a Money in the Bank winner. Then you've got Bliss, who is a two-time SmackDown Women's Champion, a four-time Raw Women's Champion, and a two-time Women's Tag Team Champion as well. And then of course you got Bianca Belair, who is the only woman in history to win the Raw and SmackDown Women's titles in back-to-back WrestleManias, which has never happened before from what I've seen anyway. So let's see, that's 2, 6, 8, and then the tag titles for Bliss would be 10, 12, 13, 16. That's 16. 17. That's 17 titles. 17 women's titles between Belair, Bliss, and Asuka, and then of course Bayley. You know, she's a former Raw Women's Champion. She's a two-time SmackDown Women's Champion, a two-time Women's Tag Team Champion, and a former NXT Women's Champion. So that's 6 titles right there. Then of course you've got Io Sky, who's a former NXT Women's Champion and a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion. And then of course Dakota Kai is a two-time NXT Women's Tag Team Champion as well. So 16, that's 26 titles between all 6 of these women, which is insane. But out of all of them, Bayley, Asuka, and Bliss are the only 3 who have won Money in the Bank and successfully cashed in, which is awesome. In fact, I think every single woman that's won Money in the Bank has successfully cashed in, including Liv Morgan as well, which is pretty awesome. But we'll talk about her match here in a second. But obviously, with Dakota Kai had been fired from WWE, Io Sky had dealt with a leg injury earlier this year during the match at Stand and Deliver, which was a fatal 4-way match between her, Alba Fire, or I guess Kaylee Ray, Cora Jade, and Mandy Rose. If you guys watched Stand and Deliver, you guys know. For those who didn't, unfortunately, Io Sky was taken out with an injury, and everything just went to shit for Io, at least until now anyway. And then of course Bayley, having her own knee injury, was taken out for well over a year, and she was supposed to have came back. I think it was like, I want to say like right around like Hell in a Cell, if I remember right. Somewhere around there, but she chose not to. It is what it is. But I think with the loss of the women's tag team titles from last night on Raw, I have no doubt in my mind that that's going to definitely weigh down on Sky, Dakota, and of course Bayley. They're going to be down in the shits about that loss from last night. So definitely the edge has to go to Bianca, Bliss, and Asuka, in my honest opinion. But next up, we have the SmackDown Women's title. The aforementioned Liv Morgan defending her SmackDown Women's title against Shayna Baszler. I never thought I would ever say that again. And the reason why is because Liv Morgan has been you know, was always known as the underdog. You know, she had this dream of wanting to be in WWE, just like me. You guys know, I've been trying to get into WWE for quite some time. So if you guys want to see me in WWE, let your voices be heard. Tag me in your posts on social media. Let the world know what's up. But with that said, and actually, if I can find it, if I can find it on Peacock, because I know that Liv actually did a They actually did a documentary on her career. Excuse me, on her life outside of WWE. You know, from when she was a kid. I want to see about that. Hang on, guys. Excuse me. I know they did one for Alexa Bliss, both of which I saw. So let's see. Originals. Maybe it's under originals. Let's see. Yeah. Here we are. Live Forever was the name of the documentary that they did for Liv Morgan, and they did one for Alexa Bliss as well. Let's see. They did one for Alexa Bliss. So Live Forever was the one that I saw. That one talked about her career, you know, her life, you know, about how she, you know, of what her life was like as a kid. They did the same for Alexa Bliss. If I can somehow find it, which I don't think I can. Yeah, I don't know what they did with that one, but let me see if I can look her name up in the search. The only thing that comes up is her podcast on Uncool with Alexa Bliss, and you search for clips, nothing. So yeah, I do remember that Alexa Bliss did have her own documentary. I don't remember the name of it though. I wanna see. If I can somehow find it. Give me a second, guys. But while I'm looking them up, Liv Morgan will be defending her title against Shayna Baszler, which is going to be an interesting one. And the reason being, and the reason why, I say that it's going to be a rather interesting match for Liv is because with her arm being the way it is, I have no doubt in my mind that nothing came up. I've got no doubt in my mind that Liv Morgan's arm is going to be a very big target for Shayna Baszler, and I think honestly, don't get it twisted. I want to see Liv Morgan, keep her title, but I think it's Shayna's time. I think Shayna Baszler needs to win this title. If she loses this match on Saturday against Liv Morgan, then hands down, her push is going to be all for naught, because she had a massive push, at WrestleMania. I think it was like 2 years ago. when she battled Becky Lynch, but unfortunately, it did not really come to pass for her. She ended up losing the title, and her career just went downhill from there. So, if Shayna wins, she'll have earned it. She'll have earned it. Her victory would be long overdue, and it would be poetic justice for her. But what would happen if Liv Morgan wins? What should happen if Liv Morgan wins? Obviously, the fans are going to turn on her, which we know is gonna happen because we've seen it before with pretty much everyone else. And I've got no doubt in my mind that the fans are going to want to see Shayna Baszler win, or they're going to want to see Ronda Rousey win, because we know that Ronda is going to be on Smackdown this Friday for I guess one final judgment or something like that. So I'm assuming that she might convince Adam Pearce to make the match a triple threat, which is a possibility, because if it is true, then Liv Morgan is going to have her work cut out for her, because with both of these women, Shayna and Ronda, having massive, a massive submission game, that's going to be a big problem for Liv Morgan. So I gotta go with Shayna Baszler. I honestly think it's her time. But speaking of time, the question now becomes this: is it time for Roman Reigns to lose his title? Is it time? We're going to find that out this weekend, this Saturday, because Roman Reigns will be defending his Undisputed Universal title against Drew McIntyre. Now, interestingly enough, when it comes to the one-on-one battle between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, usually it's Roman Reigns picking up the victory by some random ass fluke. And the last time these two fought one-on-one, it was actually back at Survivor Series in 2020, when Roman Reigns had just came back to WWE, after being away for a while, having just won the title from the Fiend, from Braun Strowman. With the help of Jey Uso, Roman Reigns won. This is interesting, because with Sami Zayn now being the so-called honorary Uso, and with the Usos having their own issues with trying to find new challengers for the tag team titles, and with Paul Heyman have been MIA since SummerSlam, I've got no doubt in my mind that Roman Reigns, he's gonna go at this alone. He has no choice. However, there's been a lot of rumors as of late that apparently WWE wants to bring back Braun Strowman. So yeah, if Drew loses, guess who will be going after Roman next? That's right, Braun Strowman. So if Strowman does come back, which is likely to happen, I've got no doubt that Strowman is gonna go after Roman and attempt to take the title. But this is unique because this is the first time in 3 decades that we are having a premium live event in the UK. That wasn't a show like Rebellion or Insurrection. Like I'm talking about like a major UK show. This is the first time in 3 decades. 1992, crazy enough, where we saw where we saw the British Bulldog do battle with Bret Hart for the Intercontinental title in the main event, which was a hell of a matchup, mind you. Excuse me. Ooh, excuse me. I've got no doubt in my mind that this matchup is going to be one for the ages. But the question becomes, are we going to hear Drew McIntyre's original theme song back, Broken Dreams? Honestly, I would love to see it. But the question becomes, who wins? Who wins this matchup? If Roman wins, it means one of two things. Either A, he did it with the help of the entire bloodline, or he won by a fluke. Plain and simple. If McIntyre wins, he will have done the impossible and will have took the titles off of Roman Reigns. And with the rumors of potentially, of both the WWE and the Universal titles being split back up, I've got no doubt in my mind that if Drew McIntyre wins, Karrion Kross is going to be... He'll be lurking. He'll be thinking about a way... He'll be thinking of a plot to ensure that he becomes the #1 contender. But... honestly, I want to say Drew McIntyre, but this is Roman Reigns we're talking about here. He's gonna have the bloodline bailing him out, so I gotta go with Roman Reigns. But that brings me to the question of the day. Among the card as it sits now, what are your predictions for Clash of the Castle, and why? Why do you predict what you guys have predicted? Let me know down in the comments below, and that will do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more premium live event predictions in the future, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and follow me on all of my social media. Links will be in the description below, as will the info to my fan mail. It will also be in the description as well. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.